Hello everyone, my name is Domina and I'm a professional dominatrix and femdom artist. I started out as a professional player in 2013 at a local dungeon here in Los Angeles, and it's been about 6 years. My astrological sign is Leo. When I'm not in the dungeons playing, I am photographing myself as a model with a tripod and a remote in kinky concepts. I'm trying to strive to go outside of dungeon spaces so that people can see that dominance can happen anywhere. I art direct people that I collaborate with, so I'll bring in other models and submissives or people who have never played before and are curious, and people who are not kinky photographers as well. I love to collaborate with anyone who is just interested in the theme and open to the BDSM community. I also love to wine and dine. I love fine dining and I love food in general. I love watching the process of how people make plates that end up in front of me. I also love wine and whiskey and the cocktails that come about using those two things. On the more physical side, I dance, I do flow arts, and I also used to rock climb a lot. I used to rock climb twice a week, and it's been a passion of mine that I would love to go back into. My most favorite thing that I love to wear is athleisure. I love sports bras without underwires, and I love yoga pants, and when the two match, I love matching sets. It's just super comfy and I can wear those anywhere. I can wear them getting groceries, I can wear them in a foot fetish session, I can wear them going to the gym. Let's get ready to answer some interview questions. So the first question is, how did I come about being a dominatrix? BDSM has popped into my life many times in little ways when I was in school, but I never pursued it because I was really young and I didn't want to get murdered. After I got my dream job at a billion-dollar corporation, I realized that I didn't want to keep going to work every single day, eating, going to the gym, going home, sleeping for the rest of my life. I needed something else that was more exciting, that could fill the void. And it just so happened that my bosses that I had, minus the bosses that I've had in corporate, were extreme emotional manipulators. They would verbally abuse people without them really knowing it, and they could transform a whole room to doing exactly what they want without even saying it. And even though I felt really bad many days in the workplace, it was something that kind of put me in awe, because that much dominance in a room without people even knowing it, you can hold a lot of power in that. So BDSM popped into my mind at that time, and I looked it up online. First I looked up BDSM clubs as a way to see if I really wanted to get into it, but I found a dungeon place and the rest is history. I now practice BDSM safely, sanely, and consensually, so that is the difference between me and those bosses. So the next question is, what do I like most about being a dominatrix? My job is to fully accept another person, regardless of any preconceived notion, and provide and create a safe space where no judgment is passed on a person's fetishes, and I'm able to transform them into their interests and cultivate acceptance for who they can truly be with me. I guide them in sessions giving them a unique experience that they would not be able to have otherwise, with family members that they can't tell, with spouses, or maybe they would like to bring me along to share with their significant others. I don't accept all fetishes. I have my own limits. And so the next question ties in with this previous one, which is, what is the best experience that I've had as a dominatrix? And honestly, all of my sessions are so different and everybody likes such different things. But the best way that I can enjoy myself is if a person goes through the process of booking me as I would like. For instance, if they've never seen me before, they send me an email saying, "Hello, mistress," or Domina. "My name is Joe Schmo," and they write out who they are. All of these questions can be found on my reservation form online at dominamara.org, but they go through and answer all of them as honestly and as completely as they can. If they're new, I have other processes that they can go through so that I can screen them so that I am safe. If they're on time, very hygienic and clean, ready to play, or if they had a bad day, are upfront about it and let me know, there are no surprises, we can enjoy ourselves to our fullest. Those are my best experiences, where people follow my instructions and we can all have a good time from there. What are my worst experiences that I've had is if all of those things that I said previously were not done at all. And I have to be the administrative person and kind of go after each question to make sure that everybody kind of understands what they're going into, that I understand what is going to be happening or what they don't like. And some people will try to push my limits. I don't accept every fetish there is. I respect people for having them, but I have what is called hard limits, where I just won't do them because I don't find them appealing or hygienic. And I find that people will try their best to push and see if I could potentially do those things. And it's a waste of my time. It's disrespecting what I've already put out there as something that I don't do. And offering me more money is not going to make me push the envelope, unfortunately. So please don't do it. So the next question is, which pro athlete do I like and why? I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really follow sports, but I'm going to choose a male and a female for equality. So for the male, I probably would pick Joe Panic because he is part of the San Francisco Giants and the Bay Area is my hometown. And as for female, I would probably have to go with Danica Patrick because she's been the leading role model for female NASCAR and just is a stunning performer, and the cars on the track are really hot and she can handle them. So those are the two that I would pick. The next question is, which actor is my favorite and why? Actually, the next two questions are about actors and actresses. I'm going to say up front that I like them both because of the same reason, and I will explain. So for actors, I would have to choose The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, because he came from football and wrestling, WWE, and I remember him from those days, and it was so cheesy, but it was great entertainment, and that kind of fed really well into Hollywood. And I love that he can be this tough military man to a father, a loving father who's trying to figure things out. So For similar reasons, I would have to say my favorite actress is Angelina Jolie, because she has a huge range as well. She was Laura Croft, but she can also be a mother figure. And I feel like after she filmed Beyond Borders, she really felt the need to give back and do some philanthropy work, and she actually became a UN representative. The Rock also has his own foundation where he gives back, and I love that about people who have a role model stance and the money to back up their talents and then give it back to the community that helped them succeeded, or for the community that has no idea who they are because they don't even have televisions or cinemas in their countries. So I think that's very powerful, and I feel like they are both really amazing role models in society. I also really love that both of them can do a lot of their own stunts. Like Angelina Jolie can drive a boat, a car, she can fly a plane, and ride a motorcycle, and that's badass. So the next question is, are there any comic book characters that I would love to cosplay, and are there any superheroines that I admire and look up to? This is gonna sound really cliche, but I'm a fan of Catwoman. Not just because she looks great in latex, wears a mask, and is great with a whip, and has razor sharp nails. That is part of it, but the main part of it is she's always seen as this anti-hero, and that's because she will do what she wants when she wants. She wasn't brought up wealthy. She loves jewels and diamonds, and so she will steal them. And anybody that kind of gets in her way, she will become a villain towards. But she's pretty harmless. I feel like she goes after them, and she wants to live a lifestyle that she deems is worthy of living. And she becomes close to Batman a couple times, enough to call him Bruce. So I feel like she kind of is the embodiment of what I think like a real woman. She's painted in an interesting way as well. If you guys have seen the Catwoman short that Warner Brothers put out direct to video a couple years ago, it was directed by a woman, and she actually is the heroine of the whole piece. In the short film, she saves a bunch of young women from being sex trafficked by this sleazy, no-good person called Rough Cut, who tries to ship them off in a shipping container and sell them off elsewhere. And so that kind of overlays a lot with what's happening in the world, what I do in my industry, and she takes a lot of damage in that short film as well. But she's a fighter, she rides a motorcycle, and she's sexy and seductive to try to get close to the enemy, and I'm all for that. Another character that I really enjoy is also a cat feline female character, and that's from Bleach. The character is Yoruichi, and she actually comes from a noble family but chooses to fight with the commoners and creates her own stealth Black Ops Secret Service type of community where they're basically ninjas. So those are two females that I think embody strength, beauty, intelligence, stealthiness, as well as being really feminine and true to who they are as people. So the next question is an interesting question. It has to do with the #MeToo movement. And is this something that I endorse? To be honest, I do. I feel like women were very late into gaining any sort of rights. We are still struggling to make the same amount of money as some men do in certain positions in the workforce, there are still women being harassed. You know, you don't see women harassing males as much as males harass women. And I feel like this kind of lends a voice to people who have been harassed, because there are men that have been harassed as well. So this kind of opens up the conversation as to what are we not seeing up front? What is happening in certain cubicles or behind set, or you know, when people are supposed to be off duty. And I find that it creates a safer space for everybody. I think people should be able to talk about their traumas as part of their healing process. So I am for it. So this next question is, if I was able to give myself advice from 10, 15, 20 years ago, what advice would I give my younger self? As a fiery teenager, I would have to say to kind of just take a breath before anything. Take a breath before you think, take a breath before you speak, take a breath before you act out on anything, and be patient. If you work hard and really believe in what you do, good things will come to you. The people who are supposed to be in your life will come, will stay, and the toxic ones will leave. And to always be true to what I believe in, because that becomes my rock. At the end of the day, even with all of our loved ones around us, family, friends, significant others, we are the only ones who can count on ourselves. It's just me. And I will breathe myself out of the world by myself when I die. And not to sound morbid, but it's kind of just, it's a cycle, and it's what happens in life. You know, make the connections that I need to make in order to fulfill what I am dreaming about, and to be open to opportunities, even if they don't seem like it's gonna work for me, or even if I don't feel like it's gonna go anywhere, I would just do it anyway, because you never know. And it only takes one person to really see you. You know, that's how I got my art into galleries, is I applied to several of them, and the curator saw it and said, that one. You know, and you just never know. So keep dreaming, keep believing. It sounds cliche, but slow down, take a breath, trust your instincts, and do you. So the next question is, do I have any fun projects in the works? I always have projects when I am not in the dungeon. As I may have mentioned before, I am currently photographing myself in monthly sets. And every month I have a theme. It usually has to do with the season, or a holiday, or a Hallmark holiday like Mother's Day. And I try to keep on improving my photographic skills if I'm shooting by myself, which is most of the time. It's probably like 85% of the time, where I have just a $20 tripod, a remote, my 10-year-old DSLR, but everything works, and just come up with different creative concepts that haven't been done before. A lot of kinky play is found in dungeons, and I really want to take a step away from that. And I love nature, I love environments that inspire me, and those inspirations will cultivate my dynamics with people. If I have the time and a model is available, especially while I'm traveling, I will reach out and collaborate with them. Sometimes people aren't even kinky, but they look the part, or if the photographer isn't into BDSM, but he appreciates my storytelling and what I do and respects me as a person, then I I'm open to collaborations. And so photography and short films have been my main focus. They're both great to use for marketing and just to show the world that it's not such a scary community and such a vile place to be. It's therapeutic, it's nurturing. There is a story. Every session has a beginning, middle, and end. How can I convey that to my audience afterwards as a filmmaker and take the elements that I have experienced into my art and have the general masses understand that without using words? These short films have been super fun to make. They are a bit pricey and I am paying out of pocket. I used to have a Patreon, but it was a lot of work on the back end to actually fulfill what I feel like people weren't really interested in or understanding. All the behind the scenes now I put on my OnlyFans, and I feel like that is more lucrative in that sense because they're just short clips that people can ingest and kind of see the process behind. I also create YouTube videos twice every month, and I am trying to do a lot of behind the scenes there. So if people are interested in my process, they can just go onto my channel, youtube.com/c/DominaMara, and watch everything there. I create content that I feel like can educate people who aren't really sure about what to do during session, after session, just my general rules so that I don't have to answer them every single time in emails. And I'm trying to get more into art galleries and into performance because it's fun having one-on-one sessions and creating something unique every single time with the same clients or new clients. However, I want, like I mentioned, to expand that to the general world and do things that are different that haven't been seen before. And so with my art being displayed in galleries for Pride Month, for the summer in a chocolate and art show, I can then actually converse with people and tell them what I do and show them, look, this is what I've created after I've gone through my sessions with these people. This is what inspires me. So I hope that was a good introduction to who I am. My name is Domina Mara, and you can find me on my social media, on Instagram at mara.domina, on my Twitter at mara.domina, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/DominaMara, and on my website, dominamara.org or dominatrixmara.com. I try to put out a photography set every month and put out a new YouTube video every 2 weeks. So subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell so that you know when my next upcoming art comes out and when I have new short films coming for you to enjoy. I want to thank Wannabe TV for having me today and for all of you watching. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for having me. My name is Mara, and I'll see you next time. Be safe, have fun, and keep it kinky, everyone.